Yeah. I'll call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Port Clinton City Council meeting, regular scheduled meeting on July 23rd, 2024 in the Linda Hartlott Chambers at Port Clinton City Hall. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent reflection for those protecting and serving our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman. Present. Margaret Phillips. Present. Richard Morgan.
Present.
Kelly Gangle.
Excused.
Pat Hovis. Here. Jerry Trolley.
Here.
Kathy King.
Here. Thank you, Council. You previously received the July 9, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move for the okaying of the July 9th regular meeting minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Trolley to approve the July 9, 2024 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The minutes from July 9th are hereby approved. The chair notes the certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation. We have no public comments. We'll move on to executive officers' reports. Council, please remember to do your public records sunshine law training once during your term. You can do it online, virtual. You don't have to attend. Also, Ms. Ostheimer sent out a new requirement. The auditor of state has required all employees do a fraud training, and that has to be done by September 28th. Tonight we have two new ordinances. We have ordinance 13-24. Administration has asked that this be passed in its first reading for time sensitive, and it's also what Acting Chief Gutman spoke about last week, and he's here this evening if anyone has additional questions when we get to that point. Ordinance 14-24 can do the normal 3 readings. And the mayor is not here, but Ms. Ostheimer will read the mayor's report.
Madam President and members of council, as planned, Erie Paving has moved out of town until July 31st to finish a project in another community. When they return, they will be placing the top finishing coat on those streets they've been working on. Erie will then move to the areas around the schools. At this moment, they are about a third of the way through Plan A Phase 1. Weather permitting, Plan A Phase 1 should be completed by the end of November 2024. Senior Center. The Senior Center was closed for a few days last week to address an issue with air conditioning and a rodent infestation. Both items have been addressed, and the Senior Center is now back open. The restrooms at the local parks, we are experiencing a great deal of vandalism and destructive behavior with all public restrooms in town. Lakeview Park, Waterworks Park, and Portage Park. Cameras and signs will be going up shortly. Ordinance 13-24, I would ask that the council take action on this ordinance tonight. Should it be adopted, I ask that the clerk of council place it in the PD dispatch. I will then sign it tonight when I return to town. Monday, July 29th from 5 to 9 p.m. is the J1 welcome event at MOM. Please stop by and welcome the kids from around the world and have found their way to our area. Sunday, August 25th is PC Day at Fifth Third Field. Call the Toledo Mudhens for tickets at 419-725-4367. Thank you, Mayor Snyder.
Thank you. Auditor is not with us this evening. Treasurer report.
Yes, I'd like to report the collections through June 30th of 2024 for rental registrations. We have 54,900, and that exceeds our expected revenue of 30,000. Of course, this is our initial year, so we under budgeted a little bit there. Bed taxes at $96,709.27, which is under our expected revenue of $330,000. Of course, it's only through June 30th. And our dock tax is at $19,049.39, which is slightly under our budget of $20,500.
Does anyone in council have any questions for the treasurer? Law director is not with us. Safety service director is not with us. We will move on to City staff report, Mr. Chrisman, you have anything?
I have met with Sandusky Code Compliance Division, and they provided me with a wealth of information. I'm in the process of standing up a program similar to what they have going for the city of Port Clinton. I'm also working with Fire Chief Gutman to dovetail the fire safety inspections that need to happen as well. We're currently building out a database of all the addresses in town so that we can track our progress as we go through. We're making decent progress in the first few weeks that we've been moving with this. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get out into the community to address any of the problem properties directly. I plan on being able to do that in the coming weeks. And that's it.
Thank you. Does anyone on council have any questions for Mr. Chrisman? Okay, Acting Chief, Fire Chief Gutman, do you have anything additional tonight?
No, just here for any Q&A.
Thank you. We'll move on to committee reports. Finance, Ms. Silvas?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Environment and Public Works, Mr. Trolley.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Economic and Community Development, Ms. Gilman.
Nothing tonight, Madam
Okay.
President.
Move on to correspondence. Under correspondence, we have Planning Commission meeting minutes from June 13, 2024. Architectural Review meeting minutes from June 27, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the correspondence?
Madam President, I move to approve the presented minutes in the correspondence.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Trolley, to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries, and the correspondence is hereby approved. We'll now move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have no third reading. We have no second reading. Under first readings, will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 13-24?
Ordinance number 13-24, an ordinance moving full-time firefighters from a non-salary, non-exempt classification to a salaried, non-exempt classification, creating Kelly days for full-time firefighters and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 13-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
I'd like to make a motion to waive the 3 required readings of ordinance 13-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gill. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Troy, seconded by Mrs. Gill. And then to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 13-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 6-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 13-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
make a motion to retain the emergency clause in ordinance 13-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Gilman, to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 13-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 6-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 13-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 13-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Gilman, to adopt ordinance 13-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 6-0. Ordinance 13-24 is hereby adopted.
Congratulations, Chief.
Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 14-24?
Ordinance number 14-24, an ordinance authorizing the Director of Safety and Service to enter into agreements to purchase necessary capital equipment and supplies for the Port Clinton Fire Department from the funds appropriated from the American Rescue Plan Act Fund and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 14-24? Okay, ordinance 14-24 will be moved to a second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on August 13th, 2024. We'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
I got nothing.
Thank you. Mrs. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. Had a lot of people comment on the groundwork that's being done with the macadam, and just really happy to see it going. I can't believe the tar. I can't believe how they're happy to see it. It's just, well, we've waited a long time. All they're asking is what is going to be fixed next with the tar, not the ground level for November, but they're coming back on the 31st. That's what I've been telling them.
If they're going to continue doing it around the school system.
School says, okay, that's what I told them, got it right.
I think it's posted on the website too, isn't it?
It
No?
is.
No.
It is? Okay, thank you.
Okay. I thought it was. Okay. Mrs. Otis?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Mr. Trolling?
Just one announcement, tomorrow from 4 to 7 is football night, Portland and varsity. They're having the 7-on-7, there's 4 teams coming in. It's meet the team and 7-on-7 games.
Okay.
That's all, Madam President.
Mrs. King?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Mrs. Gilman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. King. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mrs. King to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you, we're adjourned.
Lots of celebration.